Limpopo Premier Dr. Ramaphosa has come under fire on social media following a video where she condemned anti-undocumented migration protests in the province. In the video, the Premier...
Is South Africa heading for another explosive immigration showdown? Welcome back to Mzansi News Daily News. As always, kindly smash that subscribe button, like, and share this video so you never miss the biggest stories shaping South Africa. And stay until the end because I'll give my full analysis of this developing story. Tensions over undocumented migration have been boiling in South Africa for years, with many communities arguing that illegal immigration places pressure on jobs, healthcare, housing, and public services. These frustrations have repeatedly sparked protests across different provinces. Now, Limpopo Premier Dr. Ramaphosa has found herself at the center of a political storm after a viral video showed her confronting anti-undocumented migration protesters in Limpopo. In the footage, the Premier firmly tells demonstrators that Limpopo is off-limits to anyone who discriminates against others based on the language they speak, calling for unity instead of division. But the video has ignited fierce debate online. Critics have accused Ramaphosa of defending undocumented foreign nationals rather than addressing the concerns of South Africans demanding stricter immigration enforcement. Supporters, however, argue that her message was about rejecting discrimination while still respecting the rule of law. With emotions running high and social media divided, the Premier now joins us to explain her comments, respond to the criticism, and clarify exactly where she stands on the issue of undocumented migration. Stay tuned until the end, where I'll break down what this could mean for Limpopo, South Africa's immigration debate, and whether the backlash against the Premier is justified.
Limpopo Premier Dr. Ramaphosa has come under fire on social media following a video where she condemned anti-undocumented migration protests in the province. In the video, Premier Ramaphosa is addressing protesters, stating Limpopo is off limits to those who discriminate against others on the basis of language. Social media critics have accused Ramaphosa of defending undocumented foreign nationals. She joins us now to speak more on this. Dr. Ramaphosa, good evening. Thank you so much for your time, Premier. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to ask it pointedly and directly. What did you mean by that?
Evening, Oliver, and evening to all your viewers out there. We simple are saying everyone who is not documented cannot be allowed to be in South Africa. All undocumented immigrants, definitely we're supporting fully that everyone who is in the country, be it in Limpopo or any other country, you've got to follow the laws of that country, you've got to be documented. However, we've noted that during this March and March, in some instances, there are people who are targeted based on their skin complexion, based on their language. And majority of those people unfortunately reside from our province, Limpopo. Because if you are Venda speaking, Tsonga speaking, or even Pedi speaking, and you are dark in terms of your skin complexion, and they ask you to speak in certain languages and you can't pronounce the words in those languages, I've received so many reports that those individuals are being targeted. And we are simply saying, we're not going to tolerate that in Limpopo. And we're also saying, you can't be moving from one household to another, removing people based on their skin complexion or on the language that they speak. Because we are amongst those people, when it was not fashionable, we've always raised these issues of undocumented immigrants, be it in our hospital facilities, be it in the certain sectors in terms of the employment sectors. We've raised those issues and the government did respond, the national government. The president has appointed the IMC. We are seeing work being done. They've accepted that the border is strengthening our border management authority. BMA has been appointed. Police, we are working with them as provincial government. We are raiding where raids needs to be done. Drug warlords are being arrested. And we welcome all those who made it possible for us to be where we are today. But we can't allow a situation where, because I am Limpopo born citizen and I'm dark in my skin complexion, I cannot be allowed to visit any province. That we cannot allow.
Premier, you're calling out tribalism, right? Let's call it what it is, and problematizing that, and that's absolutely fine. Many, however, argue that the line between tribalism and anti-migrant sentiment is a very thin line, because it borrows from the same class of sentiment that some people are worthy of being here while others are not worthy of being here. Some people are worthy of our spaces while others are not worthy of our spaces. That is the underlying logic that it follows. Where do you see that line being drawn?
It can only be drawn when you allow those who are mandated by the law to be able to monitor as to who is in the country legally and who is in the country without legal documents. And I think as individual, as society, it's going to be very difficult. Hence you hear us saying, it is wrong for you to be asking individuals for them to show you their documents. It is wrong. And we are saying, we welcome the intervention by the government. There's no one, I will be the last person to say Limpopo is free for everyone, irrespective of whether you are documented or not. That we have never mentioned it. But unfortunately, people want to drive their own narratives. They keep on bringing what we have not. Equally, you can't say foreign nationals who are documented, who came to the country legally, be it some are working but legally, some are students studying legally, some are just here for visit. For us to begin to say everybody must leave whether you are documented or not, there's no country in the world that can be able to exist on its own without citizens from other nationalities. So all we are saying, let's allow the law enforcement agency to deal with the matter. You know, previously, when it appears as if government was not listening, maybe people would say we have a point. But right now, we can tell you that the government, the president himself, has even addressed the nation on this migration crisis. And why don't we work with the law enforcement agency to deal with this matter instead of fighting amongst ourselves?
Just a very quick question on that. Is it your view, Premier, that organizations like March and March are not making that distinction?
I think in some instances they are not, because you would not see some of these narratives being. There are certain marches which are happening peacefully. People are demonstrating and we welcome that. That's why you see us receiving memorandum and even acknowledging that this is a crisis that we need to deal with it, all of us together. But equally, at the same time, we want to see them also condemning those amongst themselves who are now attacking even innocent individuals. And until such time when they start condemning such act of violence, they can't expect us to keep quiet. Look, if we don't caution each other and warn each other against the wrongdoing, what might have started as an initiative to try to address the migration crisis in the country would now become something that none of us will be able to control, because as a premier of a province which is predominantly has the Bafenda people, the Batsonga people, the Bapedi, Balobedu, Batswana, even part of Eskukune head Baswati, Mandebele, you know, we then quite and allow you to come and do door to door, removing people. 90% of the people of Limpopo, you are going to say to the Batswana in Elisras, go to Botswana. Bavenda, go to Zimbabwe. Batsonga, go to Mozambique. You're going to chase everybody and will remain with no one. So this is what we are saying. In the first place, If you're saying you are against illegal or undocumented individuals in the country because they are putting a strain on our resources, some are involved in crime, you are doing it to protect South African citizens, but then you turn around and start attacking the very same South African citizen. So we're saying no to tribalism, and we're saying let's allow individuals who are here legally to continue to live together with us.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Dr. Poppy Ramatuba is the Premier of Limpopo.
What's really happening at one of South Africa's busiest border crossings? The numbers keep changing by the hour, and authorities are working around the clock as buses continue to arrive and depart. Welcome back to Mzansi News Daily News. And as always, kindly smash the subscribe button, like, and share this video. Stay with us until the very end, because I'll give my full analysis of this developing story. For years, the Beitbridge border post has been at the center of South Africa's immigration challenges. Thousands of people cross through the border legally every day, while authorities have also struggled to combat undocumented migration, human trafficking, and cross-border crime. As a result, verification and repatriation operations have become a regular part of border management. Now, the temporary repatriation center in Musina, just outside the Beitbridge border post, remains a hive of activity as the number of undocumented immigrants continues to fluctuate. Buses carrying foreign nationals from several provinces, including the Free State, are arriving and leaving as officials intensify the verification process. In the latest development, 2 buses carrying around 60 undocumented Mozambican nationals departed yesterday, July 12, 2026, for Mozambique, marking another phase in the ongoing repatriation operation. Authorities say the verification and repatriation process is continuing, with more arrivals and departures expected as officials process undocumented foreign nationals. Our reporter, Rendani Ralifaswa, is following the story and brings us the latest updates from Musina. Don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I'll break down what these developments could mean for South Africa's border security, immigration policy, and the wider debate surrounding undocumented migration.
The number of immigrants at the temporary repatriation center in Musina, that's outside the Beitbridge border post, continues to fluctuate.
Buses carrying foreign nationals from different provinces, including the Free State now, are still arriving while others are leaving. 2 buses with about 60 undocumented Mozambicans left for that country yesterday.
Now, more than 1,000 migrants, most of them from Malawi, have been repatriated today. One undocumented Malawian national says he is relieved and happy to be returning home.
The SABC's Rendani Ralipaswa has more from the verification center.
The verification and processing of undocumented immigrants from Zimbabwe, Malawi, and few from Mozambique is continuing here at the temporary repatriation center in Musina, just outside the Beitbridge port of entry. We see a number of undocumented immigrants fluctuating here at the center. We do understand that majority of those that are being repatriated are Malawians, but according to the Home Affairs Department, few Mozambican have also been here, and they were provided with 2 buses to be repatriated back to their homes. But right now I am joined by a Zimbabwean national, undocumented Zimbabwean national. His name is Mugove Manjeru. He has been at the center. We do understand that he's also selling just to make a little before he can be processed and verified to move to Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for your time, sir. You were telling me that you are part of the people that are living and you were at the center, but I see you are also selling. How has the process been?
The process is moving very well, and the food is there, the toilets is there, so I'm very happy, and I'm very happy also that I'm going back home, as the situation was very bad where I am coming from. Then I'm going back home. So the South Africans, they are saying we are taking their jobs. So there is no space even to stay in South Africa, because the landlords where we stay, they are refusing us or rejecting us. So I see it's better to go back home, because they are harassing us in South Africa where I'm staying, and I see that it's very better to go back home and stay alive.
Are you coming from Durban? When did you arrive here at the center? How many days have you been here at the center?
It's a day and a half.
From Durban?
Yeah, from Durban. A day and a half. And we are here now.
I also see you are selling some solar and batteries. Is this what you were doing back in Durban? And also, do you plan to continue selling when you arrive in Zimbabwe?
In Durban, I was selling gadgets, electric gadgets, such as solar torch and lights, radios, chargers, and many things. So I just take my stuff and continue selling, and I will continue. I will look for a space to sell in Zim side. I will continue with my job.
Are you happy to be going back to Zim?
I'm very happy because I'm alive. I'm alive because what is important is life.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mugove Manjeru from Zimbabwe. As you heard him, being happy to go back to Zimbabwe, and hopefully he will continue selling electric gadgets in Zimbabwe. He has been here at the center and he has been processed and he is ready to be going back to Zimbabwe. For SABC News, I am Rendani Ramaphosa in Musina Repatriation Center.